About 25 years ago, I decided to learn to meditate. And I went along to a Buddhist meditation group. And after each session, we had a one-to-one meeting with the teacher to talk about how our meditation was going. And one week, the teacher said to me, "So, Steve, how's your meditation?" And I said, "Oh, it's terrible. It's going really badly because every time I sit down to meditate, my mind fills up with thoughts, distracting thoughts. It becomes really chaotic. And I find it really difficult to concentrate on my breathing." And to my surprise, the teacher said, "Well, that's really good. That's a good sign." And I said, "Is it? How can that be good? All this chaotic mental disturbance." And he said, "Well, it's good because most people don't realize that chatter's there. Most people are so identified with it, they think it's them and they can't actually observe it. So if you can actually stand back and observe your chatter and know it's there, it's a really good sign." And I think that relates to an important aspect of Eckhart's teaching. Eckhart often talks about the importance of disidentifying with the voice inside your head. He talks about the importance of watching or listening to the voice inside your head, being aware of it, and at the same time, being aware that the voice is not you. Being aware that your true identity stands apart from the voice. Your true identity is the witness, the observer, rather than your thinking self. And thinking is really just a process. It's often an involuntary, automatic process of chattering thoughts about the future, or about the past, or about alternate realities. And if we are identified with those thoughts, with that mental chatter, it can trigger negative states of mind. For example, if you think about the future, it can trigger feelings of anxiety or dread about the future. If your mind chatters away about the past, it can create states of feelings of guilt or bitterness. And if you consider alternate realities, or if you desire a different kind of life for yourself, it can trigger feelings of jealousy and envy, or a desire to change your life in some sense. But when we realize that we are not the voice, when we stand apart from the voice, and when we listen to it as if it's a process, or even as if it's somebody else speaking within our own mental space, that's an important step, because then we begin to break the link between thought and feeling. When we observe the voice and stand apart, the link that generates feelings from thoughts begins to fade away. And we just allow thoughts to pass by without them creating negative states. And also, when we separate ourselves from the voice, we sense a spaciousness within ourselves, within our own consciousness. And we begin to realize that spaciousness is well-being. The nature of spaciousness is well-being. And we realize that that well-being is our own nature. And we cease to desire alternate realities. We cease to chatter away about the future or about the past. We begin to rest within that spaciousness. And we begin to experience the true well-being of our deeper nature. So the piece I'm going to read out now from my book, The Calm Center, it relates to this aspect of Eckhart's teachings. It's called The Voice Inside Your Head. One day you'll grow fed up with the voice inside your head, with its constant murmurings of discontent, its fear-mongering thoughts of the future, and its questioning of every choice you make. One day you'll turn to it and calmly say, "I refuse to listen." Then stand back and look away, turning your attention to your surroundings, or to a quietness and spaciousness you can sense inside you, just behind the voice. The voice is so self-absorbed that at first it won't even notice it's being ignored, and will carry on chattering away to itself. You'll still hear its complaints and criticisms, but they won't convince you anymore. You'll doubt them, laugh at them, reject them. And gradually, without the fuel of your attention, the voice will become more hesitant, will stumble and slow down, leaving space. Until eventually, that self-assertive drawl that demanded to be heard and seemed to submerge the rest of reality will be no louder than a whisper, like a gentle breeze that seems to be part of silence.